Good morning, sir. Good morning, my friend. I am Julian Chelsea, and in this chance, I would like to present my research proposal titled Using English Videos to Improve Speaking Fluency of Third Graders. And here is the agenda of my presentation today. I will start by discussing the introduction, which consists of background, research questions, purpose, scope, and significance. And then I will continue with the literature review by discussing the keywords English videos, speaking fluency, young learners, and English videos for young learners. And then at last, I will discuss the methodology, which consists of the method, design, time and place, data and data source, instrument, validity and reliability, and data collection and at last data analysis. And here is the background of the research. So language fluency is an essential aspect of effective communication and plays a significant role in language acquisition. For non-native English speakers like us, achieving fluency can be particularly challenging due to limited exposure to authentic English-speaking environments. The demand for English proficiency has significantly increased in today's globalized world, where English serves as a lingua franca across various domains in the world. However, English language teaching in Indonesia mostly concerned with students' accuracy instead of students' fluency, according to a study by Shofi in 2020. This belief has been going on for a long time. Teachers believe that students need to be proficient users of language in terms of using the phonological, syntactic, semantic, or even the discourse features of a language perfectly. This is based on a study by Byrne in 1986. Prior to accuracy, EFL students should work on developing their automaticity, speed, and comprehension level or their fluency. In recent years, technological advancements have transformed the way education is delivered, offering innovative a venue for language learning. One such a venue is the utilization of English video as a pedagogical tool to improve students' fluency. Study on the use of video in teaching English as a foreign language have been carried out by several researchers with different focuses. For example, Sakir et al. In 2020 investigate students' perception toward using YouTube videos in EFL classroom. Their study came up with a result that the majority of students demonstrated a favorable perception toward and a readiness to use digital videos in the EFL classroom. Digital videos are also put into use in an attempt to improve students' speaking skill, as showed by study by Jati et al. In 2019, Shafiq et al. In 2021, Trin and Ho in 2022, Al-Bahiri and Al-Hajj in 2020, and it also used to improve pronunciation skills, according to a study by Anisimova et al. In 2020. It also used to improve listening skill, according to a study by Yuyun and Shimamura in 2021, and writing skills, according to a study by Stiati in 2016. Unfortunately, these studies have not yet touched on the effect of integration of this digital video to for young learners' speaking ability, more specifically in their fluency. Shafiq et al. In 2021 found that using videos to teach speaking for first-year university students could help students to learn how to speak and improving their fluency. But it is not yet known whether these videos could improve young learners' speaking fluency or not. Three research questions are proposed in this research. They are the first, how English videos used to improve students' fluency, and to what extent do English videos improve students' fluency, and how do students respond to the use of English videos to improve their fluency. So the purpose of this research is the first, this research tried to describe the use of English videos to improve students' fluency in speaking. And the second, it is also to determine whether English videos improve students' fluency or not, and to analyze students' responses toward the use of English videos to improve fluency in speaking as well. And then the scope of the research is limited to assessing 30 young learners of third grade students whose age ranging from 9 to 10 years old. And the significance of this research has significant implication for language educators and institutions who strive to enhance their students' fluency levels. The findings of the study will shed light on the potential of the multimedia tools in language teaching. By incorporating English videos into the language curriculum, educators can provide students with a rich and authentic language learning environment because they will hear the native speaker speak in the video, and it also fostering oral fluency, comprehension, and fostering communicative competence for students. And now we're going to discuss the literature review. The first keyword is the English videos. Video is basically a recording of moving visual image and sounds, either made digitally by storing data, like we do now, or recorded manually using videotape in the past. In education field, there are 6 common types of video. There are lecture, screencast, micro, explainer, scenario or simulation, and tutorial videos. The use of video in language teaching started in the 1980s when the video first created, according to a study by Walio and Apridayani in 2021. Videos are frequently utilized in the teaching and learning process because it can boost students' interest in learning by allowing them to see and hear things at the same time, even though they are not coming directly from the original source, according to a study by Prayuda in 2021. The term English videos refer to the visual moving image with spoken language using English language, which was made in purpose to develop students' English ability in an entertaining and engaging way. The speaker on the video can be the native speaker or those whose mother language or first language is English, or non-native speaker like us, or English teacher whose first language is not English. According to Wang in Prayuda in 2021, there are 3 goals of teaching English with video materials. The first goals being to facilitate the development of learners' language skills, and then to enrich learners' competence of intercultural communication, because through the video they can see another culture and they can learn from it, and then to improve learners' appreciation of artistic values through English language videos. The second term that will be discussed in the literature review is the speaking fluency. The speaking itself refers to a person's capacity to share his knowledge, articulate verbal notions, and communicate thoughts in front of others, according to Tarigan in 2008. Speaking is one of the 4 language skills that learners need to possess in order to master any language. Bailey, as cited by Ho in 2018, defined fluency as one's competence in using language to speak rapidly and convincingly without too many gaps or false pauses that might hinder communication. It is the ultimate goal of those who had spent their time and effort in learning any language. Brown in 2004 formulated a list of micro and macro skills in speaking. Micro skills refer to pupils' ability to produce smaller language components, including phonemes, morpheme, words, collocation, and phrasal units, while macro skill refers to pupils' ability to focus on their fluency, discourse, function, style, cohesion, nonverbal communication, and strategic option. We are dealing with fluency, which clearly belongs to the macro skills of speaking. According to Schmidt in Haryanto in 2016, fluency has three characteristics. The first being fluency is shown when learners engage in activities with a clear meaning and do so quickly and easily without interfering with the conversation, which means that they can speak freely without the hesitation. And the second, fluency means the learners do not need to pay a lot of attention to or put much effort into using the language because they can use the language automatically. And the third, fluency is a skill. It occurs from repeatedly doing routine tasks. And the third term that will be discussed in the literature review is young learners. Young learners are students who are studying in elementary or senior high school, whose ages are 7 to 15 years old, and they study English as their second language, according to Shafrizal and Hedudin in 2018. Teaching English for young learners is known as EYL, or English for Young Learners, and it includes children whose first language is the national language or their country, and English is considered as additional language or their second language, according to Johnston in 2019. Sherlock Rickson in Blend 2015 reports that teaching and learning English for young learners means teaching them during the golden age, the age in which they can grasp anything easily. This then support the findings that learning English at young age can help them to be fluent. Okay, so young learners are completely different with adult learners. They are socially, emotionally, cognitively, and physically different from adults. That's why we need a special approach in teaching English for young learners. And there are characteristics of young learners. The first, their propensity to be active. They tend to be active. They usually learn by kinesthetically. They're moving around, and their eagerness to learn about anything that interests them. That's why we have to make our learning materials as interesting as possible, so they will be eager to learn about it, and they can only maintain their attention for a short period of time or about 15 to 20 minutes only. That's why we need to make it brief, make the learning material brief so they will not get bored. Brown in 2001, in Haryanto and Lisnani in 2021, specifies some characteristics that needs to consider in teaching young learners. The first being, we need to consider their intellectual development and their attention span. As I have mentioned before, it is 15 to 20 minutes only, and their sensory input, whether they can learn from kinesthetically, or they're moving around, or they're heard it, or they see it at visual, and the effective factors. And the last, the authentic, meaningful language, which means we have to use the language that they will use later in daily life. And the last term that will be discussed in the literature review being English videos for young learners. Basically, video-based learning for young learners is very important because children have difficulty in understanding the symbolic meaning of two-dimensional images. That's why they need an illustration to help them understand the materials. And there are some requirements in creating learning material for young learners, according to Sutardi in 2011. The first requirements being the appearance of the learning materials. The learning materials need to use color pictures and simple yet meaningful story because they are not able to process a complicated story yet, and consistent games that aid dialogue and amusement so that they will not get bored. And the second requirement is the illustration. The illustration needs to be concrete and pertinent to the learner's peer knowledge so that it will be more meaningful and they can relate it into their daily life. And the third requirement being the use. The exact illustration needs to be used repeatedly because, as we know, and the fluency is a skill, and they need to practice repeatedly in order to be fluent. Uh, there is a research done by Nyani et al. In 2019 used Powtoon videos as a supporting media for teaching English for young learners. Students' responses are positive. Most of them tend to remember the vocabularies they obtained while watching the video. The video also helped teachers to pronounce the word correctly so that the students could see the pictures, read the text, and listen to the pronunciation clearly at the same time. Pujani et al. In 2022 also developed animation video as online learning media to teach English for young learners. They concluded that learning media should have the ability to deliver the learning message and motivate students to learn at the same time. The video should be colorful, as I have mentioned before, and full of cheerful music to gain young learners' interest and their attention. So the third is the methodology. The method is classroom action research. To describe the use of English videos to improve students' fluency in speaking, to determine whether English videos improve students' fluency, and also to analyze students' responses toward the use of English videos to improve fluency in speaking as well. Through this classroom action research, educators have the opportunity to resolve problems that occur during teaching, create innovative learning, and seek alternative solutions in overcoming any issues that happen in the classroom. And also through this classroom action research, researchers are required to take notes on the classroom activities, propose an action, and observe and make reflections out of it. And that's what I'm going to do in this research. For the design, one group design will be applied in this research where all participants will receive the same treatment. All of them will be exposed to English video during the teaching and learning activity in the classroom. And the time and place of the research will be conducted at St. Luke Elementary School located in Sunter, North Jakarta. Stands under the auspices of Santo Lucas Education Foundation. The school is one of the private Catholic schools in North Jakarta that offer both English and Mandarin language in their curriculum as mandatory subjects. All students from kindergarten to senior high school are required to study English and Mandarin language as foreign language. That's why I chose this school as the subject of my research. And the research itself will take place between January to March 2024. During that period of time, the school would have its second semester in each class, and it will be the base of my decision of video, and I will choose the video based on the curriculum of the second semester of the school. And next, the data and the data source. The present research attempts to collect the following data. The first, the teaching and learning activities using the English videos to improve students' speaking fluency, and then the scores of English speaking tests, which I will administer later, and the students' responses toward the use of English videos to improve their speaking fluency that will be collected through the interview. The source of the data are the third grader students at St. Luke Elementary School because my target research is the third grader students and teachers at St. Luke Elementary School. And the instrument that will be used in the research are the observation sheet, English speaking test, and interview. Observation sheet is structured form used to record data based on sample observation. The components that will be observed are the students and the video materials. The points that will be observed from the students are their activeness and whether or not they pay any attention to the videos being played in the classroom. And the points that will be observed from the video are whether or not the video have met the requirements or the qualification of the teaching media for young learners. As I have mentioned before, the requirements are it use colorful media and then cheerful music, etc. And the observation sheet for students, I adapted the observation sheet with necessary changes from the observation sheet made by Zhang in 2010 for her research regarding the effect of game-based approach in teaching word recognition. And in the second instrument or the speaking test, And students will be asked to retell the video and related information regarding the video. A rubric is available to assess students' fluency, and the interview will be done with students and teachers to get their perspective regarding the use of English videos to improve students' fluency. Open-ended questions for the interview are also available. And while the validity and reliability are terms used to measure the efficacy of research that indicate how well a method or technique or test measure what it is designed to measure. Reliability measures the rate of consistency, while validity deals with accuracy. Content validity is chosen to measure the degree to which a measurement encompasses every aspect of the concept being measured. And the observation set is measured with the intellectual reliability. The speaking test consistency is measured with test-retest reliability, and the interview is measured with test-retest reliability. And for the data collection, with the observation set, speaking test, and the interview, there are steps in making the instrument. The first, the observation sheet, I will make it by designing the observation sheet first, and then I will try out the sheet and observe using the sheet, and finally present the activities. And for the speaking test, I will first design the test, and I will try out the test, and I will administer the test, and then check and score the test and present the test score in this research report letter. And for the interview, I will first design the questions and then try out and use the questionnaire or in the interview protocol. And I will also present the response in this research report letter. And the last, for the data analysis, the data that have been collected through observation and interview will be analyzed with qualitative analysis, while the speaking test results will be analyzed with regression analysis, since the research only has two variables. English videos as the independent variables and the speaking fluency as the dependent variable. We have finally reached the end of my research proposal presentation. Thank you for paying attention, and any questions and suggestions are welcome. Thank you very much.